What's up, everyone? My name is Luke, aka the bow tie guy or the high five guy. Kind of in a slow transition to the high five guy because people seem to like that a lot better. But either way, I always wear a bow tie, always have a high five. But today's video is all about how to leverage the visitor center. The visitor center is a fabulous resource that everyone easily overlooks. They are free, of course, to use. They have tons of great resources, and they really can help make your trip, whether it's vacation, road trip, whatever it is, a lot simpler and a lot more enjoyable. So, with that being said, I made this flyer. I labeled it "How to Get the Most Out of the Visitor Center." That's exactly what it does. It's available on my website. You guys can download it for free. That way you have a reference source. But I'm going to go through right now how to read it, and how to do exactly what it says on the flyer. So, number one, guys. I went on a road trip this summer, 80 days around the country. Summer 2016 was amazing, 17,000 miles. I leveraged the visitor center in every place I went. It was ridiculous. They were so helpful in most places. Some are way better than others, but still, they're always a great resource for free things, great advice, stuff like that. And so that's why I made this. It's something that people easily overlook, but I want you to take advantage of it because it'll make your life so much easier. So, when you first arrive at the visitor center, this is the first thing you got to do right here. You need to please ask them to tell me about the free things to do in blank, especially if you're on a budget, okay? Free does not mean it's a horrible thing to do. The cost of something does not associate with how good of an experience it is. That's something I learned on my trip this past summer. So always ask what the free things are first, because who doesn't want to save money and still have a great time? Number two, you see that right there. Ask them what is there that's noteworthy of doing here, but that's not necessarily free. I mean, they could list all kinds of things for you to do that cost a fortune and stuff like that, but ask them, like, what is there to do that's noteworthy? It doesn't have to be free. I know I asked about free the first time, but like, what is there to do that's really noteworthy of this place, of this city, whatever it is? And that's usually a good thing to do. Otherwise, they could just list tons of things that aren't really worth doing. Things that they have affiliations with that would help them out and help the other business out. Number three, what can I do that is culturally relevant to the city? So I asked this because I was on a mission to expose myself to new experiences, new cities, things like that. And so that's why I went around asking them, what is there to do that's culturally relevant? I wanted to open my eyes to new experiences, and that's what would happen in these new places. Because every state is different, just like every country is different, just like every person is different. So that's why I would always ask that question, and I recommend that you do too. Alright, number four. Do you know a map, or do you have a map of the location of the city that you're in? Like, you don't realize how important it is. I know everybody has their digital phones and things like that, but you cannot always rely on your technology. What if your phone dies? What if you have no signal? What if, like, all these crazy things? Like, the city maps usually are fresh, they're recent. Well, maybe I could backtrack on that. Hopefully they're fresh and they're recent. Also, they have like other key pieces of information. They really highlight, maybe bus routes or things like that. Like any of those things. There's a couple different maps you can usually get all of them. It never hurts to have those with you. Plus, really, it's not that much to carry. I mean, have a backpack, have something to put them in, but they're always a great backup if your phone dies or something like that. Number five, guys. Where is the closest Starbucks? This is if you're on like a super tight budget road trip or adventure, vacation, whatever it is. Ask them where the Starbucks, the Walmart, and the McDonald's are. Those are the three places that you can really leverage as a budget line traveler. Like McDonald's is great for water, Wi-Fi. Walmart is great for parking lots to sleep in, Wi-Fi, not water from the water fountain, but I would rather go to McDonald's or Starbucks. Starbucks, again, another one great for water, Wi-Fi, and just like a place to relax and chill and do some research on things to do and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, just let it out a little bit, relax. Because when you're traveling every day, like I was, it gets exhausting. Don't get me wrong. It's so much fun. It's worth it. Number seven. Grab as many interesting brochures as you can at the visitor center. There's so many different things that they have there. Don't take them all, of course, because then you'll be carrying stuff that you don't need and you don't want to waste it either. But look through all of them, say what seems interesting to me, take a look at it. If it seems interesting, grab one, because then you can call the company, find out more about if they do offers, things like that, whatnot. that brings me actually to one of my next really important ones, is after you grab all those things, sit down and go through everything that you want to do. You've picked out all these brochures, you've looked at all these things that you wanted to do beforehand, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, how to plan an epic road trip sort of video. You want to sit down and look through all those and prioritize, because otherwise you'll have too many things to do, too many options, and you'll be overwhelmed. So sit down, prioritize, try to draw them in on that map that you picked up. That way you have like a physical like reference on like, hey, I'm going to go here first and then here and then there, and kind of make a little flow that makes sense. Of course, keep in mind the times that things open and whatnot, but then that way you have a visualization, it relieves stress, and you do all that before you go out and you're standing in the middle of the street trying to map everything out. Just do it while you're in the visitor center, while you have plenty of place to write it down on the table and all kinds of good stuff. With that being said, the other thing that I really recommend that you guys do is you ask the visitor center, and this is coming down to the last couple of points, but ask the visitor center, what businesses or organizations do you actually have partnerships with that give me a discount, or that give me a reduced fee or something like that. Like, you'll be surprised. There's actually a lot of partnerships with visitor centers that allow you to get better deals on things, and they won't tell you about it unless you ask for it. So you got to ask about those kind of discounts. All right, getting down to the end, guys. Then number 9, then from there you can now make up the logical map that I talked about. And then lastly, don't hesitate to ask questions while you're in the visitor center. Yes, that's one of the most important things, guys. It's not one of the top 10, it's not one of the 9 things, but this is something you just always have to keep in mind, is that don't forget to ask any question that you have while you're there. Like, they're there to help you. Don't feel bad asking a question. Like, that's what they're there for. They're meant to be able to be your resource. So going through all your maps, setting everything up, as you do that, I'm sure you'll come across tons of questions. Either write them down and ask them all at the end, or as you're going through, ask them to the visitor center staff, but don't be afraid to ever ask. That goes back to the number 1 thing that I shared about in my flyer about the top 5 things I learned on my trip, which I made a video about. The number 1 thing, guys, never be afraid to ask. Just always ask. And so with that being said, guys, these are the 9 things that you should do when you go to a visitor center to get the most out of them. Real simple. If you want to download this as a reference sheet, it's available on my website. I'll put the link below. Let's go check it out. And then, guys, I really ask, this is really important, I need you guys to like this video, comment if you have something to say, and subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be sharing more travel advice videos. I'm going to be sharing all of my Snapchat videos I save and then I upload to YouTube. So this past summer I did one for every day. So there was like SeaWorld and Yosemite and Yellowstone National Park and San Francisco, and like every day had a new video, and I upload them here to YouTube. So you'll get subscription. If you subscribe, you'll get notifications about that. And if you hit the like button, it really helps me get to more people, and that's my goal. Is I want to reach more people so that I can share about this awesome travel advice, put a smile on faces, and help you guys leverage the world around you. And so with that being said, also feel free to share on social media. Check me out on other social media. All the Snapchat stuff I do live on Snapchat, so you can do that if you want, and then see it later on YouTube as well. But with all that being said, please do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment if you want. If you want any travel advice, reach out to me. I'd love to give you guys some. Like, that's what I'm all about, is just helping you guys have an epic trip like I did that opened my mind to so many new things. So with that being said, I hope to see you guys on social media. Hope to see your friends as well when you share with them. Until then, have a great day.